Stop stressing about a 30-year mortgage. Right now in America, there are towns literally giving away land for free. Yes, $0. Actual land you can claim, build on, and own forever. I know it sounds like a scam. Or the fake kind of free, where you buy a luxury mansion and they gift you a decorative rock. But this is real. These towns are so empty and aggressively lonely that they are basically standing on the edge of the prairie screaming, "Please take this land," because they have nothing else to offer except silence and the occasional tumbleweed. Of course, there is a catch. Sometimes it's the brutal cold, sometimes the Wi-Fi password is just a rumor, and sometimes you just really have to like corn. But if you want true freedom, you're in the right place. In this video, we are touring 5 hidden American towns from the frozen north to the sun-baked south, where you can build an off-grid life without drowning in debt. We've dug through the fine print so you don't have to. Let's find your new home. So, let's start our bargain hunting road trip in the Great White North. In a town where the silence is so deep you can practically hear your own hair growing, welcome to New Richland, Minnesota. If you've ever wondered what it's like to live inside a serene, snow-covered postcard but with significantly more wind chilled, this is it. New Richland is situated in southern Minnesota, surrounded by lakes, rolling fields, and the kind of wholesome scenery that makes you want to spontaneously bake bread and start writing poetry about wheat. In the summer, it is paradise, green, lush, and aggressively peaceful. But right now, to keep this paradise populated, the town is offering residential lots for absolutely $0. Now, let's look at the fine print, because we all know nothing in life is truly free except bad advice. The land itself is free, but you are on the hook for the assessments. That's city speak for the curb, gutter, water, and sewer lines. Think of it like getting a free brand new car, but you still have to pay for the tires and the gas. It's still an insane deal compared to the rest of the housing market, but just know that free comes with an invoice for the pavement. The lifestyle potential here is high-level Scandinavian minimalism. You can build a modern cabin, install solar panels, and live that cozy, high lifestyle everyone on Instagram is obsessed with. But we need to address the Minnesota elephant in the room. The winter here isn't just a season. It's a personal attack. The air literally hurts your face. The snow doesn't just fall, it conquers. For about 5 months, the landscape looks like the ice planet Hoth from Star Wars, and you will question every life choice that led you to this frozen tundra. But if you can survive the deep freeze, the community is incredibly tight-knit. It's the kind of place where people don't lock their doors because the only thing stealing anything is the wind stealing your will to go outside. If you want a total hard reset on life, and you own a very, very thick coat, New Richland is calling your name. Okay, maybe you hate shivering. Maybe the idea of owning a heavy coat makes you claustrophobic. If New Richland was a walk-in freezer, our next stop is the preheated oven. Let's head south to La Villa, Texas. This town is located deep in the Rio Grande Valley, so far down the map that if you sneeze too hard, you might accidentally cross international borders. La Villa is a sun-baked border town fever dream where palm trees sway. The tacos are life-changing, and the horizon looks like it was stretched out by someone who got a little too excited with the panoramic mode on their iPhone. And here is the shocker. La Villa has land programs that are practically giving away residential lots. We are talking symbolic pricing, here sometimes as low as a measly $100 bill to claim a plot, provided you build a home. In the current American economy, $100 won't even get you a decent dinner for 2 at a steakhouse. But here, it gets you a permanent address. The town is small, tight-knit, and operates at a speed that I like to call casual slow motion. The off-grid potential here is actually incredible, mainly because of the sun. You are in South Texas. The sun doesn't just shine here. It aggressively beams down on you like an interrogation lamp. You could probably power an entire crypto mining farm just by slapping a few solar panels on your roof. Gardens explode with life year-round. And you can raise chickens that will probably lay pre-cooked eggs because of the heat. But we have to talk about that heat. It is the absolute deal-breaker for many. Summer in La Villa is not for the weak. It feels like stepping inside an air fryer set to max crisp, and the humidity. It's like being hugged by a wet, warm blanket that refuses to let go. You will sweat in places you didn't even know you had glands. Plus, the mosquitoes down here are roughly the size of small birds, and they are not afraid of you, however. If you can handle the intensity of the climate, the culture is warm, the cost of living is dirt cheap, and the people are genuine. It's a place where neighbors still wave, roosters act as community alarm clocks, and nobody cares about your job title. If your dream is a hammock, endless solar power, and never seeing snow again, La Villa is the place. Before we leave the heat and jump into the chaos of our next stop, do me a quick favor. If you think getting land for $100 is insane, hit that like button. It tells YouTube you love a good deal. And if you want to see more hidden places where you can live for cheap, make sure to subscribe. It's free, unlike a studio apartment in New York City. Speaking of New York, let's go to a place that offers homes for even less than $1. Let's abandon the quiet life for a second. Let's trade the silence for chaos, adrenaline, and chicken wings. Welcome to Buffalo, New York. If the first two towns were quiet acoustic songs, Buffalo is heavy metal played at maximum volume inside a blizzard. This isn't a sleepy village. It's a gritty, historic city with a skyline, a football team that breaks hearts for a living. And whether that tries to kill you for sport, and right now, Buffalo is running the Urban Homestead program, which sells vacant houses' actual standing structures with walls and a roof for $1 single. Yes, $1. Less than a pack of gum. Less than a bad cup of coffee. You hand them $1, they hand you a house. Obviously, there is a catch the size of a dinosaur. These houses are not move-in ready. Most of them look like they've been haunting the neighborhood since the 1800s. You are buying a shell. You have to prove you have the funds to renovate it, and you must live there for at least 3 years. Basically, the city is saying, we will give you the property, but you have to fix the mess. It is the ultimate DIY challenge. If you are handy with a hammer and lack a fear of ghosts, this is the deal of the century. But beyond the dollar homes, you can also buy vacant lots next door for a few $100 to expand your empire. It is weirdly perfect for urban. You can have a high-tech solar setup on a Victorian roof and grow vegetables in the middle of a concrete jungle. Now, the environment. Buffalo residents are a different breed of human. They are tough, they are loyal, and they eat beef on Weck sandwiches that are delicious enough to make you forget about your cholesterol. But the snow, oh boy, the snow here doesn't fall. It gets dumped like God is emptying a vacuum cleaner bag over the city. You will spend 40% of your life shoveling. But here's the thing, Buffalo has soul. It's loud, it's messy, and it's unapologetically real. If you want land for literally $1 and you aren't afraid of a little hard work and a lot of snow, this is the only place on this list where you can be a property tycoon with the change found in your couch cushions. But be honest with me in the comments. Would you actually shovel snow for 5 months straight just to get a $1 house? Or is that a hard pass? I need to know if I'm the only crazy one here. Alright, let's cleanse our palate. If Buffalo was a double shot of espresso laced with adrenaline, our next stop is a warm cup of herbal tea served on a porch swing. Welcome to Elwood, Nebraska. This place is the antidote to modern stress. It sits right next to Johnson Lake, which means, yes, we finally have water. It's not the ocean, but in the middle of the Midwest, a giant lake is basically the Pacific. Elwood feels less like a town and more like a permanent Sunday morning. It's quiet, it's tidy, and the air smells like cut grass and lack of anxiety. And the deal here is surprisingly generous. Elwood is offering free residential lots, but they do it with a polite Midwestern twist. You put down a $500 deposit, which is less than the cost of a new iPhone and once you finish building your house. They give the money back, so technically the land costs $- if you count inflation. Plus, the town has programs that can cover up to 10% of your construction costs. They are literally paying you to become their neighbor. That is how nice these people are. For the off-grid dreamers, this is Diet Off-Grid. You are gardening in your backyard and maybe buying a small boat. You can install solar panels, collect rainwater, and live a life where your biggest problem is deciding whether to go fishing or take a nap. It is the perfect spot for anyone who wants retiree energy, even if they are only 25 years old. But this is Nebraska. We are in the Great Plains. The wind here doesn't just blow. It has a personality. It will try to rearrange your patio furniture and occasionally your hairstyle. And when storm season rolls in, the sky turns a color that doesn't exist in nature. And you realize why every house has a basement. Also, the pace of life is slow, like really slow. If you crave nightlife, the closest thing you'll get here is watching a raccoon raid a dumpster. But if you want a lake house for free, and neighbors who will probably bake you a pie when you move in, Elwood is the hidden gem you've been looking for. And finally, for those of you who think a lake is too crowded and a city is a nightmare, we have the ultimate reset button. Let's head to the heart of the American prairie, Mankato, Kansas. If Elwood was a quiet Sunday morning, Mankato is the opening scene of an old Western movie, minus the outlaws and plus slightly better internet. This is big sky country for real. The horizon is so wide here that you can watch your dog run away for 3 days straight. It sits in north-central Kansas, surrounded by rolling fields that look like they were painted by someone who only owned the colors gold and green. Mankato is famous for its Johnson Edition program, which is just a fancy way of saying, please come here. We have free land. They are giving away residential lots to anyone willing to build a home. No hidden traps, no requirement to join a corn-worshipping cult. Just a simple deal. You build the house, you keep the land. It is one of the last places in America that feels completely untouched by the chaos of modern life. The vibe here is pure, unfiltered Americana. It's the kind of place where the waitress calls you hun, even if she met you 12 seconds ago. And rush hour is just 2 tractors meeting at a stop sign. For off-grid enthusiasts, this is the holy grail. You have endless sun for solar, wind for turbines, and soil so fertile you could probably plant a broomstick and grow a furniture store. You can build small, build simple, and live without an HOA president measuring your grass with a ruler. But, fair warning, Kansas weather is dramatic. The wind blows like it's trying to relocate your entire house back to Oz. Storms roll in with cinematic fury. And yes, tumbleweeds are real, and they will roll across your driveway like they own the place. But if you want silence true, heavy, beautiful silence, where the only noise is the earth-breathing Mankato, is waiting for you. So, what have we learned today? We've looked at 5 towns scattered across the forgotten edges of America, from the frozen tundra of Minnesota to the frying pan of Texas, and while they are all different, they share one massive secret. The American dream isn't dead. It just moved to the middle of nowhere. In a world where we are constantly told that everything is too expensive, too crowded, and too impossible, these towns stand as a reminder that there is still space. Space to breathe, space to build, space to live a life that isn't measured by credit scores or traffic jams. Sure, you might have to shovel snow until your back gives out, or sweat through a Texas summer, or listen to the wind howl in Kansas, but in exchange, you get something that money can't buy in the city: freedom. The freedom to own your time, your land, and your future. If any of these towns made you pause, even for a second, maybe that's a sign. Maybe it's time to stop looking at Zillow listings. You can't afford and start looking at the map where the lines get blurry, if you want to keep exploring the hidden, cheap, and wild corners of America. With me, smash that subscribe button. There are still hundreds of forgotten towns out there waiting to be found, and we are just getting started. I'll see you in the next one. One final thing before you go packing your bags. While I love finding these opportunities, remember, I am a YouTuber, not a financial advisor, a lawyer, or a real estate agent. These programs have rules, deadlines, and fine print that can change overnight. So please, do your own due diligence. Call the city clerks, talk to professionals, and read the contracts before making any life-altering decisions. Don't just take the word of a guy on the internet. Stay safe and stay free.